Okay, today we're going to be learning how to set up a reservation in CDK. So what you want to do is when you're setting up a brand new reservation, go to product support, go over to rental, click the rental counter tab, and then go down to the new reservation request. So go up, click the reservation button. Let's go over here to the customer tab first. Even though availability was highlighted, let's start at the customer tab and let's just work our way right. So we have to select a customer. If there's not a customer already that we know of that we want to do a reservation for, we want to go over here and set up a little profile for them. That way that we have their name, their email address, their phone number, their address. It's all already populated for the next time they come in. This is going to save us time in the future. So go over here to the hourglass if they don't already have something set up and click create. And then you'll see all the red boxes. So you need to make sure that all the red boxes are filled in. If those aren't filled in, it's not going to save. So once you've done that, you click the save button. And then at the top, right here where this cursor is, you'll see a green banner that says saved. If it doesn't say that, it didn't save. So make sure it says that. Once it does, you click back and then close. And then whatever information you put in there, if it was John Smith, it's going to populate up here. In this case, we know there's an existing customer that we have been dealing with, and so I know that this is the number that's been popping up for that customer. So I'll put that in, and you'll see that their information pops up. We also want to make sure that we have a ship to location. The reason that we want to do a ship to location is so we know where the piece of equipment is, and in case there's a problem with service, maybe there's a problem with it, our technician knows where to go. Plus, it's just good to have all of our paperwork and documentation correct as it should be. So you'll go over here to the ship to address. If there's not already something that's in there, you would click here to add a ship to location. And then you would name the job. So it would be called Cliff's Work or John's House or something like that. You type in the address. You would put in the street name and the city directly below it. You cannot have a gap in between the two. If you do, it won't save properly. So you put the street address, the city and state, and then down here, put the zip code, and then just click save. And then once you do, you will notice that now there is something in the ship to location. So we'll click that and we can see now that we have something there. So now that we have established that, we want to go to our charge method. We don't take cash currency for our rentals. So what we want to do is go over here to select credit card. And now we can just go up here to availability. By clicking the tab, it automatically saves what we've done. We don't want to hit close or delete or anything like that. We just want to hit go to the next tab and it'll automatically say what we've done. So now let's say that the customer wants to rent a tractor. So you click that hourglass, scroll down to where it says tractor. You click on that link and just press go. And as you can see, we've got some options on tractors. So we'll just, for the sake of what we're doing here, we'll just take the first one, we'll select it. So we'll check that box, go over here to select. And now you'll see that we have our stock number there and the description of what it is. It happens to be a 2022 M5111 tractor. So the customer for in this case is wanting to use this thing over the weekend. So what we'll do, we see that the out date is today, the same day that we're putting in the reservation. Just click on the calendar and go out here to the 10th. So that would be that Friday. Put it on the time out at 5 p.m. Then on the time in, just do that following Monday. So we'll put the time in at 11 o'clock. Make sure to put 11 a.m. And what this does is it allows us to have a little bit of a grace period. So if our truck brings this thing back or the customer brings it back at 9 o'clock as opposed to 8 o'clock right when we open, it doesn't throw the contract into a held status. So that's the reason that we do that. So it's also not going to charge them for any extra days because we're putting our duration is the day and the quantity is one. So it's just 1 day. If the customer wanted it for 2 days, you just type in two. But in this case, we're only going to charge them for 1 day because that's what we do over the weekends. We only charge for 1 day unless the customer uses it for more than 10 metered hours. So we make that determination once the piece of equipment comes back in. So once you have everything there, you can click save, and tractors typically have attachments, so you can just for what we're doing here, just continue without the attachments and put the hours in. You see it previous is 863, so we're just going to say the current is 863, and you'll notice that the rate is 475. So it matches this over here. I'm going to make it for 1 penny because I'm putting this on my credit card and it's just easier to deal with these small numbers. So let's pretend that the customer wants to get this delivered. Click the miscellaneous charges tab, and we call this rental handling. Pickup and delivery is called rental handling. So they're going to have it delivered to their house and they're going to need it picked up as well. So put your quantity of one there and there. And again, me not wanting to put too much on my credit card, we're going to make that 1 penny. And we're going to now go over to AR agency. This is where we charge the credit card. This is where we go ahead and take the person's money for their reservation. If it just so happens that they have to cancel their reservation, they can get a full refund. But this goes ahead and secures that money. So go down here to non-swipe, and whatever is on their card, type it in. So name on the card, type it in, put the address, their home address, wherever their billing is, that this needs to match. Put the card number, the CVV, and the expiration date, and again, the card name as it appears. Or if they've rented from us before, they may have a card on file, which you can just click stored account. As you can see, the stored account is there. We want to submit the payment, and it says your card has been authorized at this time. So now that we've done that, because it gives us a confirmation number. Now this hasn't invoiced anything. It hasn't charged them. It's just holding the money. So we go to return to IntelliDealer. And as you can see, it says authorization completed. And now the reservation is in and the customer had that amount of money tied on their card. So we can go over here back to the customer. Again, just double check it, make sure everything looks okay. And click the details. We see that it's a tractor, 1 day, going out on Friday, May the 10th, and then coming back on Monday. Again, the quantity is 1 day. So now we've seen everything, we can close out. Then you go back to this particular reservation, hover over it, click on print, and then you can email. You can either email it to yourself or directly to the customer. I like to email it to myself so I can take one more look at it right before I send it to the customer. And that is how you do a reservation.